Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Just before I start, just like to say a massive thank you to all the messages I got on the last video. Unfortunately, I'm not actually fixed. This looks like an ongoing problem, but I'm not going to keep making videos and saying, oh, I won't be here this week or I won't be here next week or whatever, because that's going to get very boring very quickly. So when I'm here, I shall be here, and when I'm not, I won't be. Okay, so at the moment I am. But anyway, thanks to everyone for the messages of support. There was people sending me messages there that I haven't actually spoken to in years. So yeah, that was great to see, and thanks for that. You are all awesome as always. Anyway, let's get on with Viva Las Vegas. Yes, and what on earth happened there? What on earth happened there? It was actually a pretty, in fact, I'd say quite possibly the second best race of the season. Maybe even the best. I don't know. Some people's opinions, it may be the best. But it was definitely a bloody good race. Yes, as Murray Walker would have said back in the day. Anyway, let's have a look at the race start now and see exactly what happened. With, of course, Charles Leclerc and Maxi Boy Verstappen. And yes, clearly Maxi Boy forced Charles Leclerc off. It reminded me a little bit actually of Japan with Senna, where he forced Prost off. Of course, that was quite funny to see back in the day. But yeah, it was definitely, I mean, there was nowhere Charles could have gone. So, you know, and I think Maxi Boy knew that he'd done wrong, because when they were said about penalties, he was like, yeah, whatever. So I think he knew that he was pretty much in the wrong. Anyway, as a result of that chaos, unfortunately, Fernando Alonso had to come in for a pit stop, as watched on by David Beckham. Yes, David Beckham, he's now the new team principal, I do believe, of Aston Martin. He has now replaced Mike Crack. Yes, he wasn't up to snuff, so now David Beckham has taken over. But unfortunately, that completely destroyed Fernando Alonso's chances of getting any points in the race, and that was him out. And if we just look at race start here, you can see exactly what all the carnage was all about. Yes, so that was good. And as you can see, Fernando Alonso looked like he just sort of spun round on his own, to be honest, just lost it and come round, and then of course he got hit in the front, which destroyed a lot of his front wing. As you can see, Max Verstappen of course did carry on with his broken front wing, but unfortunately Fernando Alonso had much more damage to his, so he had to come in and get a new wing on that car. And then of course we've got Lando Norris. Yes, Lando, a very bizarre incident. Let's have a look at it here. And yeah, that's very bizarre indeed. Either he really needed the toilet, or he just lost the car. Now, obviously, he just completely lost the car. This is a classic tank slapper, as you can see. Yes, you start to steer one way, then you have to steer the other way to counteract the sort of force of the car getting away from you. And in that, you just completely, you're just a passenger. You can't hold on to it. And then he ended up straight into the barrier. So not a good day for McLaren. Thankfully, Oscar's pastry did manage to do a little bit for McLaren for their chances in the race. But yes, so there you go. That was the Las Vegas Grand Prix in a nutshell. And I have to say, it was pretty darn enjoyable. After all the pomp, the circumstance, and everything that went on before the race, which all was a little bit over the top, to be honest. Yes, a little bit ridiculous. Yes, and of course we had the drain cover problems at the start of FP1, and they told everyone to bugger off home because it was too late now to do a practice session, and we don't want to sit there and look after you lot. No, we want to go to bed, so bugger off home. Look, I don't care if you've paid 40 grand for your tickets, just bugger off home. Yes, I thought that was great. I thought it was absolutely great. Absolutely telling spectators to leave now. Leave, because it's too late. It's too late and we need to be tucked up in bed now. Yes, we're very tired. Very tired. So just go. We don't care about your money. Just go. So yeah, that was quite good. So yeah, with the drain cover problems. But apart from that, the race itself was pretty exciting. Of course, we had the safety car. We had the virtual safety car as well, which is always good to see. We had Charles Leclerc bottling it once again, unfortunately. Yes. I just don't know. But he did manage to pull off an audacious move on Sergio Perez. It was absolutely audacious. It was great to see, I have to say, and well done to Charles Leclerc. If he can just get on top of his braking issues, because 1 minute he seems to be fine and he seems to be pretty much the last of the late breakers, and the next minute he just can't brake in time and almost ends up crashing into the wall, as you saw earlier in the Grand Prix. So yeah, he just needs to get on top of his braking, and I'm pretty sure he could be, a lot better than the results that he's got so far if he could just get on top of his braking issues. But anyway, so he did get past Perez. Unfortunately, there was misery once again for the, I'm going to call them the Hamilton duo. Yes, it's Hamilton and his bitch. Yes, George Russell. We all know that he's Hamilton's bitch. And misery once again. Unfortunately, Hamilton collided, got a puncture on the car. In fact, both cars got punctures, so they had to come in. Of course, he slipped all the way down the field. I think he was in last place at one point, was poor Lulu. Oh my God, George Russell, I think he did score some points, didn't he? But not very many. Oh, he got 6th place, didn't he? Or something, 5th or 6th. Anyway, yeah, so that was not a bad result for George Russell, trying to sort of overcome the car wreck of the beginning of the Grand Prix with sort of, Lulu and his antics. It was just, well, it's not a good day all round for Mercedes. Anyway, I don't know what Toto Wolff's doing these days. He just seems to nod off during the races. I mean, if you remember the good old days with the passion and where he used to throw headphones down on the table because he was so annoyed. It just doesn't seem to be there anymore from Toto. I don't get it. I just don't get it. I just think because the car isn't winning anymore, he can't be bothered. He seems to have that personality where he's only interested when he's in the winning seat, or his team's in the winning seat. And at the moment, Toto, I don't know. I just can't see Toto being around for another 10 years in this sport, to be honest. I just feel that he's going to lose interest very soon, because it's clear that Mercedes car has definitely got a problem in performance. And I don't think, unfortunately, they're going to pull a rabbit out of their hat and actually start to get really competitive again and get back to the front. They seem to be looking at the moment like Mercedes from like 2011 and 2012. You remember that, when they were up and coming, they were getting there, but they weren't quite as a top running team. And unfortunately, they seem to have slipped backwards into that 2011, 2012 sort of position at the moment now with the team. They're definitely going backwards, which is not good. And I just can't see a way forward. I mean, they've had so many situations where they've tried to improve the car. I mean, the car was a disaster at the start, wasn't it? And then they've had the side pod issues. No side pods. Put side pods on it. Should we take them off again? No, put them on. Should we have side pods this week? I can't remember. But there's been so many issues with the car. Fundamentally, I don't think it is the car, to be honest. I mean, obviously a little tiny bit, but I just think that those Red Bulls are just too bloody quick. I mean, Maxi Boy is absolutely outrageous right now. He really is. I mean, he's just unstoppable. He had a 5-second penalty, came in for his pit stop, and he came out, I think, in 7th or 8th position, something like that, and he still managed to win the race. Unbelievable. Yes. And I like the bit at the end when he was in the car, looked like a limo, and he said, "Oh, we're not going to the podium, we'll just go straight to casino," because that's what he thought. Let's just go to the casino. We just can't be bothered with this anymore. No. So yeah, it was great to see another great result from Maxi Boy Verstappen. And if this continues, I can see interest in Formula One dropping to an all-time low next year. I predict that if we get 3 races in and Max wins those first 3 races, yes, interest will dip, unfortunately, to an all-time low, which is going to be unfortunate once again, but this is a dominating era for Red Bull, so there's nothing we can do about it. We as F1 fans have just got to sit there, suck it up, and hope and pray that someone is going to get on top of Max. I mean, the only real person we see at the moment has been like the Ferraris on occasion, when they've been good enough. And of course, we saw Lando Norris the other week when he almost got past Max at Brazil and really put him under pressure for about, I don't know, half a lap. That was the first time we saw, a team really putting Red Bull under pressure. I'd say it was only half a lap, but yeah. So at the moment, though, there is no one. There is no one out there who can beat the Red Bulls. And if it continues into 2024, well, yeah. Liberty Media are going to have to do something really drastic. Yes, there's going to have to be lots more dancing girls. Well, they're probably going to bring back the grid girls just for the entertainment value at the start of the race, because, Otherwise, as I say, the interest in the sport is going to absolutely diminish. Anyway, congratulations to Maxi Boy once again for winning the race. Yeah, it's just one more race to go now, Abu Dhabi, and that's the close of the season. It seems to have been a very long season, I have to say. Even though there's only been 22 races, because one got cancelled, of course, due to heavy flooding. But it just seems to have been a very long season. And, of course, next year we've got 24 races on the calendar. And, of course, the return of China. Yes, China. Now, this has been mooted for years now. I mean, what was it, 2019, 2020, they disappeared off the calendar, obviously because of COVID. But, for the past 2 or 3 years, China's back. No, it's not. It's off again. But now they're saying that China is back on the calendar next year. I will believe it when I see it. That's all I can say, because I'm not so sure. But, our relations, especially like the UK and the USA and with China, are not especially brilliant right now. Not especially brilliant. So I don't know. The way things are going, I'd say I'd be very surprised to see China back on the calendar. I would. Or, I mean, it's back on the calendar, but I'd be very surprised if if the teams actually go there. That's what I'm going to say. But who knows? But anyway, enough of that. It was Viva Las Vegas. A very, very decent race indeed. I did enjoy it. Of course, I was only watching the highlights, so, it's one and done for me in about 15 minutes, which is great for a Grand Prix. As I've said in previous live streams, I actually watched Silverstone live, and I was like, Jesus, did they really used to last this long? Because I was just too long now. I just haven't got that time and patience to sit there for an hour and 40 minutes now. It just doesn't do it for me. But a nice highlights package, that's what I like these days. So great to see. So congratulations, Maxi Boy. God knows how many points he's got now. Must be 500, which is what I predicted at the beginning of the season. I said he'd end up at the end of the season with like 500 odd points. Unfortunately, Lewis Hamilton, because of his finishing position, which was right down there, because of his puncher, he now is not going to overtake Sergio Perez, so he's not going to get that coveted second place in the championship, which is more bad news for Lulu. Boy, Lulu. Boy, I love Lulu. I really do. I love Lulu. I hope he stays in Formula 1 for another 10 years, because he is great. Yes, every time I watch Sky News, Lulu pops up in the adverts. Yeah, talking about Petronas and climate change and how great Petronas is doing. They're one of the biggest oil companies in the world, and they're talking about it makes me laugh. It makes me laugh like a train. Anyway, that was a quick synopsis of the Las Vegas Grand Prix. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. You have been awesome as always, and I'll catch you in the next video.